Howdy. So we've been using LinkedIn for about, what year are we on? 2025. 2011? Yeah, about 14 years at this point. Now, I don't claim to be a LinkedIn guru, right? But got a lot of experience using it. And most people that we work with, I typically recommend that they use LinkedIn because it's so powerful. Especially with some of the shit shows of social media platforms that we've got now. LinkedIn, in my opinion, my experience is for more serious business owners. That might not be you. That's fine. That's not me digging at you. I'm not saying that you're not serious, but you'll understand what I mean if if you're tuning for a little bit longer. So I've started screen recording already. So I'm going to have to try and find a way to move this and my face onto the screen and stuff, but first world problems and all that. So the first things that I sort of wanted to show you were sort of some statistics and a little bit of like info about LinkedIn. So, skip past a little bit if you already know some of this stuff, because I am going to be showing, my LinkedIn and how it works. And I'll give you some like tips and insights, some things that I think will really help you if maybe you're like a lot of people that I speak to where they're like, yeah, I know what LinkedIn is, and I've got a profile. I'm like, cool. How much are you using it? And they're like, oh, I made a profile. That was it. I uploaded a headshot and put in where I worked or my business, and that's it. I left it alone. LinkedIn, there tends to be a lot of like, graveyard accounts. So maybe you're that type of person, or if you're already using it, but maybe you're just looking for a few tweaks. And like I said, insights or shares from someone that has used it for, for quite a long time, then there might be some, little nuggets for you here. So let's take a look at some of these sort of statistics. I've opened up a couple of pages, but honestly, if you were to just Google LinkedIn stats or, average user age or what's the average salary of every user that's on LinkedIn, this kind of stuff, versus Facebook as an example, you'd be quite shocked at some of the stats. It's quite interesting. So there's actually this article here that I've pulled up. And again, I'll put any website links, into the description so you can check these out yourself. But this actually got updated 1st of Jan by the looks of it. So that's pretty cool. It's only like, 20 odd days ago. There's over 1 billion users on LinkedIn. I don't think they're all active. And I'll show you how we figure that out, sort of later on. But there's a lot of people on there, needless to say. I didn't actually know this fact here. LinkedIn is the oldest popular social media platform. 2003. Man, so it's like 22 years old. It's crazy. Amazon has the highest LinkedIn following for an organization. Makes sense. Bill Gates has the highest following on LinkedIn. I mean, some of these are crappy stats, by the way. But, you can get into realizing straight away, are the people that you want to do business with on LinkedIn? That's the main question you want to be asking yourself as a business owner. Is this platform going to be useful for me? I think if you have a business and you can answer a really simple question, like, are my people that I serve, that I, sell product to, that I do business with, are they on LinkedIn? If it's even just a moderate to mild yes, you need to be using LinkedIn. Simple as that. All right. We've got a client base that spans from and has spanned from hypnotherapist, specialists through to website design and SEO specialists. We've got fitness coaches, we've got gym owners, and then we've got niche, fitness coaches that do real specialist stuff, and they've all found their customers, through LinkedIn. Graphic designers we've helped, in fact, as well. Photographers, all sorts of people. And you've only got to think, I need to remember to drink my coffee. You need to think, Like if you're an accountant, as an example, accountants just look after businesses. Guess what? Loads of businesses are on LinkedIn. So if you do something really obvious, then, LinkedIn is a place. Anyway, here's a couple of websites that'll give you some insights. I think the big thing that always shocks me when I look through any of these type of things, and again, just through knowing an actual real world experience, is the salary level of people on LinkedIn versus most other platforms is much higher. Much, much higher. And it's very quick and very easy, and I'll show you how to filter through to the people that own the companies or the people inside of certain companies of varying sizes that have the decision-making power, to perhaps, join, sign up, buy, whatever it is that you do. But anyway, there's some sort of stats. Now, what does LinkedIn look like? It's pretty basic. It works, but it's not a really exciting place to be. But that kind of works for you, in my opinion. It's not like, people that are wanting dopamine fixes go to certain platforms for that. People ain't jumping onto LinkedIn because they're like, whoa, I'm on my lunch break, so I'm going to go watch some hilarious videos that I can share with a friend that has an equally dark sense of humour. No. People come over to LinkedIn very buttoned up with an impression that, I have to look and sound and put myself across in a certain way. Now, if you're reading between the lines before I even say it out loud, in my opinion, and even now in 2025, there's this huge opportunity on platforms like LinkedIn where, or even in physical environments of where people behave outside of who they actually are. So then there's this stickiness. There's this are you really the person that you're showing to me right now? Or are you just pretending to be something that you're really not? Do you know what I mean? I understand certain businesses, it's not about self-expression and being yourself. I mean, most businesses are now, even the really fucking huge conglomerates, right? But this is what LinkedIn looks like. Some cool features straight away about LinkedIn. This is your feed, a little bit like on Facebook. There's a scheduling feature built in. When you're writing, content, you can add media. You can create events, celebrate an occasion, share that you're hiring, create a poll, add a document, find people. It's got a little hashtag system on there. And you can choose who you post to, along all here. So there's all these sorts of, sort of standard features. You can write articles, which is really cool. And then the articles feature itself gives you statistics, like how many people have viewed it. And then it's almost like a separate part of LinkedIn altogether of where your articles get published. So if you are a prolific writer, you enjoy writing copy and you've got a lot to say and you've got a lot to share, and maybe some of the things that you do with other businesses or individuals requires a bit of breakdown and some explanation, articles is fantastic. It's a great place. And they're evergreen as well, the article side of things. So let me go through to, so rather than just, going through my feed, let me show you the main thing that you need to get set up when you're on LinkedIn. And that's basically your profile, right? Your profile. So this is, you get your headshot, your banner, you get to change the URL, to make it look, like a, what do we call it? Like a vanity, URL, explain who you are, your contact details, all of this sort of stuff. You can see here, where I've been endorsed for certain skills by people, and, I've got a bunch of recommendations of all the people that I've worked with that are using LinkedIn. It's like a sales page. Super cool. So if you're new to LinkedIn, you don't get this on other social media platforms because it's not built for this purpose. Like Facebook, Instagram, etc. They're wanting you to publish a lot of content because that's what keeps their platform alive. Whereas LinkedIn makes money in different ways. They're not reliant upon you being addicted to your phone, 24/7 in order to, keep you hooked to it. So now so let me treat you as if, you've not got a profile, or you've got a profile, but you're like, I've not got any connections, and I made this back when I finished university in my first job, right? So things you need to bear in mind. So if you look here up at the top bar, the URL bar, the Rich TW. Now that's my handle on YouTube, Instagram, which I'd never use. So don't look me up on there. Or you can, and you can have a good giggle at the lack of fucking love that I give it. But you want something of where if people start to look out into the wider universe, you might just put your actual name in there. John Smith, Laura Smith, whatever your name might be. And you do that by, clicking on this here. It opens up a separate page, then clicking on the pencil here, then you can change it. And it'll tell you whether or not, you can change it, whether it's going to accept it. Dead simple. Next thing to change, I call this a top to bottom, by the way, what we're doing right now. So top to bottom, so we're going to start at the URL and then work our way down. Then you've got a cover photo. So all you'd need to do to figure out the sizing of that, you're probably going to use something like Canva, to make this. You just search for sizing, LinkedIn banner size, and it'll give you the pixels, how high and how wide. And just make something neat, up here. And I always say you've got two options when you're making a banner. Either make it just dead obvious what you do, just shout it, really loud, or be a little bit more subtle. Either works. And what subtle looks like is maybe it's a picture of you doing what you do. So say, for example, you're a coach and you go into people's businesses and you spend time at the whiteboard, then maybe you want an action shot, up on your banner. And then you can describe what you do down here that we'll get to in just a moment. But again, nice headshot, is the next thing you want to be looking at. And then getting your name, spelt correctly and stuff here. Now there's this little shield that, has not been around for a great deal of time, and they call this verification. I'd advise that you get verified. You just need, I think it's your passport or your driving license or something like that, just to prove that it's you. And obviously, modern day, when you start building sort of digital assets like, friends and connections and places, the last thing you want to be doing is losing all the hard work that you've put into it. So if you can prove that it's you because you're the only person in possession of your passport, as an example, I'd definitely do that. Plus, other people see this on your, your profile, and it's more like common knowledge now, that people are doing this. So yeah, your name is the next thing, obviously. And then you've got like a little description. And again, just keep it dead simple. Explain to people, who you help, what you do, what's the outcome. Is there a time period in how you help people, get to that particular thing? All of the sort of usual, bits. Now, when you've got a LinkedIn premium account, which is Sales Navigator for us, I think actually, does AI help you? Yeah, look, right with AI, amazing. So even if you're a little bit stuck, I think you can write an idea down or tell it what you do, and it'll help you reiterate it. You don't even need to work hard for this stuff. It's so easy. So nice title. I think you can put your website URL in there, through this pencil part here. Yeah, it's like edit contact information. Where is it? Yeah, website URL just here, look. Dead simple. So if you've got a website that you want people to visit, that just gets highlighted straight away at the top. You see it's in the banner and I'm kind of pointing to it and stuff. It's pretty obvious where I want people to go and take a look. What's the next thing, top to bottom? So we've done this. We need an about section. It might look a bit busy, but other people don't see this when they visit your profile, by the way. So if I just click these crosses, it'll get rid of that. These are just analytics that I'm seeing over at this side. Now, an about section, again, really important, because a big part of what LinkedIn does, it's like SEO driven. So if people are searching for certain things, or if they start browsing people's profiles or content, and you are closely connected, to that thing, then you'll start coming up here, and people you may know, more profiles for you. So obviously LinkedIn believes that because of the people I'm currently connected to and the types of things that I talk about and the types of profiles that I look at, that all of these people are going to be suitable. And I can tell you straight away, look, Chris Spearman's really great at LinkedIn as well, by the way. Coach, high ticket business owners coaches, Sam Bedford, I know him. Great, look, high performance coach. Elephant Rock Hotel, maybe not, but it's making suggestions to me. Look, fitness, perfect. Growth marketer, perfect. It's just delivered me a whole bunch of people, look, I can connect with. And we might have something that we can discuss business-wise, or maybe a networking opportunity. Really, really cool. So I would advise in your about section to make sure you talk about the person or the type of business that you help, more so than just, this is how great I am. It's more about, it's not an about me, it's about, here's what we offer, here's how it can help you. Sell that inside of your description would be my advice. Activity, again, this is just showing me and whoever browses my profile, my content and my interactions, and then it can be filtered by articles and events, etc. You've got experience just here. Now, what the big thing that I see people do here, hold on, coffee, is they put every single job they've ever had since the dawn of time. So, if they had a part-time job in McDonald's for 6 months, they've got that on there. If, during COVID, they walked people's dogs, twice a week, they put that on there. Don't do that. It's a waste of your time, right? What you're better off doing is removing noise from your profile and just focusing on the thing that you want people to look at. Keep it as simple as that. None of that other stuff, unless if people ask about your experience and they're like, well, it doesn't look like you've had a job, from the last, from the previous 5 years behind that, say, yeah, I can show you that if you're really interested, but this is all I focus my time and energy on. All right. Because the less singular you are and the more your profile looks like a buffet, humans that attend buffets just pick at lots of little bits and tend not to focus on, one part of the menu. And that's what buffets rely on, right? Getting you full up on all the stuff that you don't even want. Skills is a really cool section. So, you can basically teach it. You can add skills to this. So if I just come to this pencil just here, look, these are all the skills. And then people can endorse me. Look how endorsements I've got for all stuff that I've still got on here. Pretty cool. Business development, high ticket sales, sales and marketing, coaching, leadership. Now what you can do is, if you noticed, on the skills section, there's only a couple showing, and you can decide which skills are showing. So when people come to your profile, maybe whilst they're working with you or you're working with them or afterwards, these are the ones that are probably most likely to get clicked and endorsed, by the other person. So if you think, you can rotate through these, you can change them up at any one time, so it can be different of what is in the shop window essentially. So if you're wanting to be seen more for leadership and coaching, then put those at the forefront basically. Recommendations, another really great section that I love. And this is a little bit like, getting a review from an individual, like you would do on a Facebook page or something, but this is attached, to your personal profile, which is fucking great. So you can give and you can receive. Naughty, naughty. So on this pencil section just here, look, if I open this up, got all these cool things that people have said about the work that we've done with them. Amazing. Super grateful for all these people. Forget about some of these actually. Pretty cool. This is a long one from Rob, look. That only came in at the end of last year. What you can do is, if you click this plus button just here, you can ask for a recommendation. You can also give a recommendation. So, for example, if I know we're about to maybe, come to the end of the 6 or 12 month sort of coaching period with somebody, I know they're already on LinkedIn because we probably encouraged them to start using it. And I would go ahead and just be like, hey, I'm going to send you an ask for recommendation over there on LinkedIn. And I would click that and I would send it to them. And then they type up something really nice. And then I accept it on my wall. Now, what's really cool about that is it's not just going to appear on my profile. It's also going to appear on their given section on their profile too. So, if you've got a profile that is, if that person, say I asked, Rob's given me a shining, recommendation. People that go start fishing around on his recommendation section and wonder, I wonder who Rob's given a recommendation to. They're going to see me straight away. And then they might click my profile and go, oh, that's really cool what Rich does. Awesome. And Rob knows him and Rob's endorsed him. Hey, Rob, tell me a little bit about Rich and the work you've done with him. Ta-da! Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right. So that's the recommendation section. This interest section's a load of rubbish. For whatever reason, LinkedIn likes you to follow, some random accounts when you first sign up to LinkedIn. I have never clicked through to any of these profiles. I'm not interested in what Branson's doing, and I have no idea who Christian Pobbig is. But when you first set up your profile, it just asks you, just follow a few people and get involved with the platform and stuff. Don't bother. Unless you're that kind of person, don't waste your time. But if you didn't notice there, when I scrolled down, you see here, add profile section. So when you do this, look at all these options. Add your education, add your services, add a career break, add skills. There's the recommended bit just here. There's all these. Look at how cool LinkedIn is. Modular. So you can build your profile a little bit like how you would build your own sales page. What do you want your people to see in order to make that, reply back from them, the connection easier, the buying process just a little bit smoother? Cool as shit. So that's your profile. So you need to firstly get your profile set up. That'd be my recommendation if you were looking for my little bit of advice or insight, So that's that. Now, there's two ways to then use, at least in our world, unless you're like, a recruiter or something, but I don't know anything about, recruitment. So I couldn't give you any advice on that. But if you've come to use LinkedIn to maybe, start getting connected with people, generate leads, for your own business, then you can either use it for free, but the searching facilities and the filtering of how you would find your people is quite limited. And it's limited in two ways. It's limited because you can only do a certain amount of searching because you've got a free account. They don't want you just like jumping onto their, free account and just start blasting searches and whatever else. And then limited in how many you can actually do in a week and a month, I think. Again, the rules change, not really frequently, but you'll be able to find out what the limitations are of a free basic LinkedIn account. My recommendation, and I think it's really cheap, for what you get, is to grab a Sales Navigator account. Sales Navigator. And I think they call it a Sales Navigator core account now. Over here in the UK, it costs, I think, £79.99 a month to use. Okay. This is what Sales Navigator does for you. Now, it's a whole separate window. So if I was to click on Sales Navigator here, it basically opens up this whole separate tab. So this is like the sneaky back door. Am I allowed to say that? Yeah, fuck it. It's like the sneaky back door into being able to create these really finite searches for the people that you want to maybe do business with or start building up that network of potential people, right? These filters are cool as. So I wanted to just walk you through sort of creating some search parameters in this so you can kind of see, what it's like to use. So these are all the filters. Now there's some ones that straight away you want to be switching on. And I sort of mentioned 20 minutes ago now, maybe just over 20 minutes ago, that although there is 1 billion users on LinkedIn, not all of those people are active. Cool thing about these filters is we can actually filter who's active. So people that are actively posting on LinkedIn, and putting updates on there and things like that. And my experience tells me that, you want to be going out to people that are active on the platform, because LinkedIn, even with a paid account, you only have a set amount of connections, or what we would call on Facebook friend requests, that you can put out every single week. Now, once you've got your profile built up and the engines are running, I would advise maxing out as much of this as possible, because that's then going to give you the biggest, possibilities for lead generation and, clients, etc. But the first thing that you want to be switching on is this button here, straight away, before you even start putting in anything else. Now, before I've even put anything in, what have you noticed? Yeah, there's 1 billion users, but people that are sort of participating on the platform, 20 million. Well, it says plus, so it's going to be somewhere in the 20 million range, right? Now, that's still more than enough people, for you to be connecting with, but we need to add some more filters in. So my advice would be, do this. There are some other recent update filters here, and if you click on that question mark, it'll tell you a bunch about them, like change jobs and mentioned in news. They might be useful filters for you depending on what you do. Now, let's look at, say for example, I wanted to start on the geography side of things. Say for example, I'm a local accountant. Okay, I'm a local accountant, so maybe I actually only want to look at, I wonder if East Yorkshire comes up. Yeah, there we go, look. So our town is in the county of East Yorkshire. Now straight away, look at what that's done, okay? Just over 2,000 results for people that actually post on LinkedIn. Now just out of curiosity, I wonder what happens when I unclick that. 68,000. So if I found my search was a little bit, my search results were a bit small from what I had next, then I have got the opportunity to actually switch that off. But all it's going to do, it's going to mean that the people that I'm going to attempt to connect with are maybe not visiting the platform and they're not as participated as other people are. Okay, but we'll keep it switched on for the time being, and then we'll sort of play around with it. So maybe I'm a local accountant. I only want to work with people in, East Riding. Maybe another filter that I add is North Yorkshire, because we're not actually that far away from North Yorkshire either. So we're actually going to include that in the search. 8,500. That's great, because we've got places like York and stuff like that. Okay. Now, what type of businesses am I going to be looking after? Well, the first thing that I want to think about is, if I'm an accountant and I'm maybe working on my own, I want to go out and look for the owners, the directors. So director, where was owner? Did I just see owner? There it is. Owner and partner, maybe vice president. These are just assumed seniority levels, not exactly what people call themselves, but look at that. Look at that straight away, all right? Director, founder and director, and these guys and girls are all within, a 20 to 30 minute drive maximum of me. So if I needed to do client visits, etc., that's that. And I know if I start, connecting with these people and looking at their business, they're actually active on the platform. That's a lot of people. But if I'm an accountant, what I might not want to do, what I might want to exclude, are other accountants. Okay, so let me just find where that is. Industry. So, can't remember if it could, yeah, accounting. So look, exclude. That's it. Doesn't hardly takes any off, look. I wonder if financial services, is that included? Yeah, we'll take financial services off there. I wonder if anything else comes up under counting. No. Look at that. Perfect. So now I've got people that are active on the platform that are, I don't want in training. Hold on. Sorry, I clicked the wrong filter there. I wonder if vice president, does that add any more? Probably not. No, we're still over 2,000 people, business owners, directors, etc., that are not involved or sell what we do, which is great. And within the local area, I've got over 2,000 people. That's pretty cool, right? That's just a really simple example. Now, if I wanted to save these people, all I need to do is just click this slider across just here, look, and then it's saved them. Okay, and then it's like in saved searches. If I was to click this, come over here, look at that. And that's it. So anytime I want to come back to a particular search, it'll pull everything back up for me. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool, I think. Now, let's sort of flatten these. Let's come back to sort of basics. Let's do one more just so you can kind of see and get an idea of what this looks like. So say, for example, I'm a business here in the UK. Actually, I want to target the US. Well, guess what? We can do that too. So let's look at United States. This is going to give us a whole bunch of people. 100 million. Posted on LinkedIn. 4 million plus. Wowzers. There's something in there, Brits. If you're American, then you've got a hell of a lot of people to go at. And if you're a Brit, maybe there's something we can help the the US with. So there we go. There's two little filters straight away. Now, maybe, so one of our sort of pockets of people that we look after, personal trainers. So I can come in here and I can go personal trainer. There's a few different sort of filters for personal trainer. So certified personal trainer, look. That'll just give us a few extra results. Yeah, it's literally doubled. So it went from 1.5 to 3 by combining these two together. So without anything else, straight away, look, I've got 3,000 active US guys and girls that are PTs. That's without adding fitness, because there's fitness specialist. Yeah, there's like fitness, instructors, fitness, coaches, all sorts. If you really wanted to drive these numbers up, look, we've just gone from 3 to 4.5. I'm just giving myself a bigger opportunity. Now, maybe it's not just personal trainers, it's actually just ladies. Maybe it's female personal trainers that we look after because we teach those female personal trainers how to take better care of their female clientele. Maybe something to do with menopause or something else. I don't know. Anybody can look after anybody, right? But I'm just giving you, some examples. So can we filter by sex? No, we can't. We can't filter by sex. If you could, fantastic, but we can't. But here's what we can do, look. We can filter by first name. All right, we can filter by first name. Now, I'm spotting an Andrea and a Janet here, so I'm just gonna Janet. Let's see if it'll combine those two. No, it hasn't. It's done it differently. Andrea. No, it's not doing it. It's fine. So we can literally search for Andreas. Now, look at that. We're doing pretty well. 17 Andreas that fall into this job title that are posting actively on LinkedIn. Curiosity, I wonder if I switch this off. I wonder how many, 367. Come on, Andreas. 350 of you that have got accounts and you're not posting on LinkedIn. Pull your socks up. So here we go. Let's just click this one back on then. This filter, don't get too hung up on it. If you find that your search results are a little bit small, you can certainly switch it off. Absolutely. All you're doing is you're increasing the likelihood that each shot that you take is going to hit target, because that person is probably visiting their profile, logging in and accepting connections just a little bit more frequently. That's all it is. Okay, so now say for example, because your next question might be, well, this is great. I've set my profile up. I've figured out that, it needs to look and sound and smell like a sales page. What would I do next? Now I've found my people using Sales Navigator and I've saved my list. I've saved my list. And the cool thing is you can set up notifications. You can see on some of these other search parameters we've got, it'll tell you, look, 332 new results on this one that I set up here. Pretty cool. So every time, someone new drops into this one, unless I delete the list, I'll come in here and it'll show me the new people. Very cool. It's doing the hard work for you once you initially set your search parameters up. But what do we do with these people, Rich? Well, we need to do a couple of things. The first thing is, and this is just what I do, by the way. I'm just talking to you as if, you're here looking over my shoulder for the first time. So I would view profile, okay? Because the first thing I want to figure out before I just start assuming that these 17 Andreas are going to be like, people that I can help, I want to read a little bit about Andrea. Now, the cool thing about looking at Andrea's profile on the Sales Navigator side is she won't get notified that I've viewed her profile. So it's a little bit ninja to begin with, which is nice because, people get notified when you're looking at their profile. So this just gives an opportunity to make sure that we're not going to start tapping on Andrea's door before we even know whether we can help her. So let's take a little look. I help people 55 to 100 plus, wowzers, feel stronger, more energetic and more productive. Custom individual programs designed by Andrea Intelligence, not AI. Okay. 150 plus clients have achieved results as seen in Parade. Fantastic. What a great job she's doing. Now, Andrea looks lovely. She looks absolutely fantastic. She looks in great shape. She's got a great mission. Lovely lady. Now, I can probably tell you, from the demographic that we look after, Andrea probably a little bit older than we typically look after just because of the type of things that we do. So I would just go, that's cool. I love that we've been able to come and check Andrea out, but we need to take a look at the next Andrea. I would do the same again. So let's take a look at Andrea Alvarez. Regional Marketing Manager. So in actual fact, this is probably not the right type of person for us. Again, Andrea looks lovely. She's obviously involved in fitness, but she's probably been involved more in marketing more so than actually having her own business. So let's take a look at Andrea Parkinson. Here we go. Educator, choreographer, dancer. Okay, so she's been doing this dance teacher for 5 years, but she's been a PT for a lot longer. Dancing. Yeah, so again, there's not a lot of signals here for me for the type of thing that we do. Let me just take a quick glance. Now, Andrea Roberts looks a little bit more like one of our kind of people. I'm trying to find someone so I can genuinely give you, what I would do next. Here we go. Fitness coach at Sunshine Wellness. Cool. Yeah, you can see here, Andrea wants to be seen that she's in a gym, that she's there ready to train people. There's equipment and stuff. And wow, she's got some great experience, look. 25 years of experience. She's not got many connections, which is a real shame because, with 25 years experience, how great would it be to get Andrea to get connected, with some more people that she can help. Passionate, practicing PT for 20 plus years, mentoring women to embrace self-love no matter what shape, size or age. I also love being involved in the community. I'm on 2 local non-profits. Love that. She shared a post, she shared a post. Okay, so she's sharing a lot of posts, but she's not posting a lot herself. Do you know what I would do at this point? I would connect with her. this is what it looks like. I'll just, I won't go through the actual action of it. But, when I click there, there's a send invitation. Now, I would advise, personally, we've tested both including a personal message, because it is optional, and not including. And we found with what we do, it actually, you get less acceptances when you type something in, because it's like you're signaling to that person. It's a bit salesy, it's a bit cheesy. It's like with Facebook, you don't send a message or a note when you're adding people as a friend. They get to decide from looking at you, whether they're going to accept it. So literally just send invitation. Literally as simple as that. So literally, I'm going to actually do that now. Done. And that's it. Other things you can add into the mix, which is going to be challenging with Andrea, because it doesn't look like this content that she's got here is her own. But say, for example, 2 days ago, Andrea had written a post and maybe there's like a picture of her with a client. I'd take a look at it. And if it compelled me to, write something nice or, give her some applauding hands or a little bit of love, I would do that. And now Andrea would have seen that I visited her profile, I've commented on her piece of content, and I've sent her an invitation request. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. And the difference is with LinkedIn, people have a very strong expectation that they are there to do business and connect with people, but also they are going to be approached by people that do business too. That's what it's for. It's a networking platform. Whereas sometimes, Facebook and places like that, following on Instagram stuff, people use it more for a personal, or personal use rather than, here's me and I'm accepting and, all the rest of it. You catch my drift. So, LinkedIn's cool. I absolutely love it. Hopefully some of these insights that I've shared with you, you can start to have a practice with. But, just to sort of go over, I would suggest taking a look at some statistics on, to figure out whether LinkedIn, could be good for you. In fact, I'll kill the screen share at this point and just talk to you guys here. Take a look at some stats. Is LinkedIn the place that we can utilize, for the business that you have? Are our people on there? If they are, fantastic. There's a bunch of other stats that you could take a look at if you needed a bit more convincing, about LinkedIn. But it's very simplistic. And when you start bolting on a sales navigator account where you've got a built-in CRM, you can save searches, you can connect with up to, I think the limit is around 200. 200. Go and connect with 200 active profiles, active people that you can do business with every single week. 800, depending on how many weeks are in the month, per month. You do that every single month through a whole year. That's a lot of new connections. Tell me you can't add a little bit of business into what you're doing right now. Obviously, I'm not an accountant, maybe there'd be different search parameters, but accountants, business is with other businesses. Guess what? You can put the right search parameters in to find those people. So figure out if your people are on LinkedIn, build your profile out, do the top to bottom with how I sort of explained. If you need to use my profile as an example or something like that, I'm happy for you to, take a look at mine and, rip off whatever you need. But it's dead simple. You probably already have a website and other social platforms of where you can pull that information onto to make it look nice, and sound nice. And then, start having a play around with it. Use some of the basic and free features. And if you think, what, I'd love to have a little go on Sales Navigator. Oh, I tell you what. Actually, you get, if you've never used Sales Navigator on your LinkedIn before, you get a 1 or a 2 month free trial. There you go. You will have to put your payment information in, I believe. But guess what? You can have a little go on it. You can have a little go on Sales Navigator And then obviously they'll tell you when they're going to bill you. And over here in the UK, like I was saying, I think it's 79, 80 pounds, you know, for the month. What a cheap tool to be able to, you know, go and find your people and create some meaningful connections of where you can do some great business. So there you go. There's a little bit about what I know about LinkedIn and just some insights and things that I thought I would share with you. If this was useful, you know, obviously just let me know. Again, I don't claim to be a LinkedIn guru. This is just the basics of what we've used it for over the years. And we've used it through a variance of businesses. Honestly, through when we had the fitness businesses, the consulting and coaching that we do now. As you can see at the moment, it's set up for a different business that we're sort of testing the waters on, which is really exciting. We've had fitness supplements, we've had the medical supplies business, all sorts, and we've always used LinkedIn as like a core part of our strategies, you know, to get in with the right people, you know, make sales. So maybe this is useful for you as well. All right, I'll see you soon.